Okay, welcome. We're doing the recording of Cassandra today, and we're using a bunch of different microphones, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I'm using mainly the preamps on the console. We've got an AB pair, which is 2 Gefels in true omnis. We've got 2 high channels, which are 2 Gefels in large diaphragm condensers. We've got another 2 Gefels into M70 capsules, which are cardioid capsules. We got a stereo vocal pair. This is an opera. We're doing a stereo vocal pair to give it what we call bloom around the vocal. If you do it with one microphone, it's often just very mono in the center. So with a stereo pair, you have a bit of space around it. It's going to be 2 MKH40s. Piano, we got 2, also from the MKH series, the 406s Sennheisers. Double bass, we got a KM184. Saxophone, we got a KM184, both Neumanns. Percussion, we got AKG 3000s on, the pair of AKG 3000s. And then here, we're using an Ambisonics microphone. We're using the Rode SF1. Now, the reason why I've taped this off, because you need to have matched preamplifiers. So what we did yesterday, we did a test where we had a tone into a speaker, into a microphone, and we went through each of the channels and did a level into Pro Tools, just did a VU meter, made sure a VU and a peak meter, digital peak meter, make sure that all the preamps in the sense to Pro Tools are all the same level. So we know that W, X, Y, and Z are all at the same level. So I will check the microphones when I'm doing the sound check, but I'm actually not listening to it while I'm recording. Just make sure it's there. I'm just going to listen to the position of it. And then when it's done, when it's ready to mix, I'll probably mix it doing a mix down to binaural. But that's still to be decided. That's it on all the. I'm not using any other outboard gear than that. There's no compressors, nothing like that. It's just all straight in, straight to Pro Tools. Doing 96K 32-bit, 32-bit. Just for the 32-bit, because we haven't done the sound check yet. We're going to be do a quick sound check. I'll have to check the microphones if they're in the same position, reposition some main pairs, the AB pair if it needs to be positioned. And just to be sure, because I haven't heard the dynamics of the piece yet, that if I get caught off guard and it peaks too much, or I have a chance that I miss something and I can't turn it down because we've done some bits already over in the middle of the piece, with the 32-bit at least the peaks are safe and I can turn it down in post and we got it covered. It's always good to be precautious with preamp gain, so they're quite low, but of course you want to make sure you got enough gain on it. I'll be listening on headphones to checking. It's always good to check on headphones when you do classical stuff. Make sure you're not missing something. It's a bit, because there's a lot of detail in it. And it always takes a bit more. In headphones you can just get a bit more detail on that. I think that's it. We'll go to the live room. So here's the setup, as you can see. So I'll start with the main pair here. This is the main pair, which is a set of Gefels with an M58 capsule on it, the vintage capsules, so true omnis, as you can see. That's the stereo pair there. Then all the way in the roof we have the 2 microphones pointing up. There's the 2 pairs looking at the top, which I call the fuse, and the 2 pairs looking down. So the 2 looking down, they're large diaphragm condensers. They're the UM70 heads in cardioid. Then this is the vocal microphone setup. So it's a stereo pair. It's sort of between ORTF and NOS. 2 MKH40s. The singer will be standing here, probably somewhere here. So we'll pick up a little bit. There will be lots of it in the main pair anyway, but just in case I want to push it a little bit, I could just bring this in a little bit, which will be great. Then here we got the Ambisonics microphone. To be honest, it's the first time we're using the Ambisonics microphone, so it might be that we have to position it totally different. This is a starting point, sort of near the main pair. Of course, we made sure that the center is looking forward. So that's the main pair and the vocal microphone. We got some spot microphones here. Well, actually, we're going to do percussion first. So we got percussion on this side here, and we have two C3000s, just off the shelf C3000s. They haven't been modified. Just to get a bit of a feel of the drums, of the percussion. Vibraphone, some cymbals, a little floor tom here, hi-hat. That's the setup. I had some Shipses, some hypercardial Shipses before, but one of the Shipses had a bit of an issue with it, so we decided to go for the large diaphragms instead. So again, it will be a bit of an experiment. We'll see how it sounds, but it just gives a little bit of proximity if we want to push it up a little bit in the mix. Then here were the KM184s. So saxophone is going to be here. Cardioid. This is still a movable feet. So when everybody come in, we'll position everything a bit better for the musicians. It probably has to come back a little bit. The singer is going to be in the middle, coming forward. Then here I have another KM184 on bass. KM184 is a beautiful microphones, and on bass it gives a little bit of presence. The low end will catch in the room, because that will be a bit harder to catch close up, and there will be plenty of it in the room. It's more to give it a little bit more of detail if we wanted it. Then here we have the piano, our Kawai Grand. I don't know if you can see the microphone, so I can close this down a little bit. But here we have the 406s, MKH 406s, so they're in the same family as the 416, which is the very famous boom microphone. As you can see, quite far away. This is quite a classical way to record piano, a bit further away. If you would maybe make a jazz record, you would be more sort of inside the piano to get a bit more attack on the hammers, which are just below here. But because we want just an overall view of the piano, I think this might be a good starting point. And again, when I'm listening in a minute, it might be that I have to be adjusted a little bit. But there will be piano. This is going to be, the piano will be loud. We turn it to the wall so it's a bit absorbed. Also for vision lines and stuff. But if we turn it around, there will be too much piano in the room. So hopefully with having the curtain here, we'll absorb it a little bit. It will resonate quite a bit anyway in the room. Yeah, I think that's the microphones. Then the acoustics here. I'm going to show this wall here. We have a mirror wall here. Typically we can alter the acoustics by putting the curtain back, and normally when I do strings in here, I'll probably have it back halfway. That will give me enough reflections to make it a little brighter and a little bit more open, because when it's all closed, it's really good for, for pop and rock and indie. But when you do acoustic music, you want a bit more reflections. The only problem we have is because we're going to be filming it, and then the camera might be in shot. It might be that we open and close it for different shots. We have to see. So this is going to be a bit of a thing we have just to work out as we go along. As most things in recording is always, we just deal with it as it happens. Of course, with all these kind of setups, always very important to be prepared, to have everything ready. We spent yesterday setting everything up, checked all the microphones, ran into some trouble with some microphones. We had a little bit of hiccup all of a sudden. We had another diaphragm on the Gefels, and that was something going on in the diaphragm, so we need to put another diaphragm on it. But of course, you can't do that when the whole room is filled with musicians. You have to get that sorted. On this wall here, we have, as I said, we have opened this half, so we have a little bit more reflection on this side. Again, that might be close later on if it's too bright, but it feels quite right now. So yeah, I think that's where we're at with the technical side. There's no headphone mixes. It's all acoustics. I'll have a little talkback microphone so I can talk to the speaker over there, which fills the room, so I can talk to the musicians in the room. Yeah, I think that's it.
You're funny. It must be exhausting being inside that brilliant head of yours. Come on.